statement from T1 to say Smash is, Smash basically 1v9 and pulled Dplus across the line in their series against DNS to get here. And Peyz
how this composition's going to work later on in the game here for T1 and Dplus, very obvious. It's level 5 here for Faker, not going to be throwing ShowMaker back, but he takes a lot of damage as he wanders his way out, refusing to press flash.
That was a lot of damage indeed, and obviously used his teleport already.
Siwoo manages to find the knockback on the Q. Wants another one here as the scrap shield will silence Doran. No, the flash, and he misses! Oh no, Siwoo takes 2 turret shots for his trouble as well. Still trying to get his eye in onto that one. Great beat drop is going to come on through there as the heals come down, as Keria's just dead. There is first blood over to Smash. He gets exhausted from the grave.
Career learned.
Peyz is now alone.
So you stop that detach, or attack.
Peyz taking a lot of damage here as well, as the high note will be avoided. Flash out there so that ShowMaker doesn't get hit by the Emperor's Divide, but really good ulti. Oh, no one really taking a bite out of them just yet.
Even though it's been perma, Prio was no flash.
Yeah, Emperor's Divide comes down. Now Oner looking to make his way in. There is a shockwave to try and buy some space, but there is a rumble there.
Yeah, and he's got TP, so he can just go straight back to the top. The damage they did in that initial salvo, Lucid taking so much means that they just can't contest, and if they try to, they might be setting up that Zeri moment you were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Walking into that, even in this early game, Zeri's skirmish power is really powerful. Speaking of!
Yep, Zeri looking for the angle as the cleanse comes out. It flashes the arrow gorgeously, and the encore doesn't quite work out. Prowling projectile is going to miss though, and the flash out from Keria will keep him alive, but now it is clean up Zin's out time, and in he goes, picks up a swift double with the 3 Talon Strike. He had a Talon Strike left over after that one.
And these angles for Peyz, he was famous for it when he was on Genji on the pick, and he's certainly showcasing why here again, as Doran does not have flash.
He doesn't, and he also probably doesn't have his life either, as Siwoo comes on over. That's a dissonance to complete the kill, and Oner not quite here in time.
The top side of the map. But this is the level 6 Zeri all-in angle that you see in a lot of matchups. Doesn't have it at level 6 in this case. The flash over the arrow. The encore isn't enough. Is ShowMaker just going to die as well?
We getting that certification
I got my paper out. I got my paper out.
I'm a little bit worried about this one, is now Smash looking to try and get some arrows into Faker here, who's in a little bit of trouble. Lucid comes on over. There's a great Crescent Guard, but I think Faker is still in a lot of trouble. Lucid going to be the one to pick up the kill. Keria thankfully stopped auto-attacking to make sure that he doesn't in his own right.
That's a flanking TP.
That's a big old flanking TP, and ShowMaker took a little while to get there as the arrow is going to connect. There's the flag and drag. Encore connects as well. That is all the CC, but Oner didn't get hit by any of it, so the Ashe is just dead. Keria down as well, and if you hadn't written it already, Wolf, I think it's time to write the certification note now. I've got my crayons ready.
It's signed. It's already been sent in. Kespa is notarizing it as we speak. I think this one is a Zeri game for the books, to be sure. One of the biggest Peyz ones so far of the year.
He's just running amok on the map, and maybe you're exactly right. Maybe Peyz is just the engage. As all right, there is an engage from Siwoo as well, looking for an angle onto Doran. He is just dancing on the equalizer though, as the Flame Spitter comes on down as well. Flash out there from Doran, and the flash from Siwoo is not going to work. It's a solo kill, as now ShowMaker looking to try and come on through here. The arrow is not going to quite connect, as there is still a shockwave here. ShowMaker still trying to find it. Another flag and drag comes down, but the final chapter is still there. Ulti from Peyz. And look at this. It's basically 1 versus 3, because it's a cat. It's kind of half a champion, but still they're standing their ground.
This is absolutely crazy here. He does not care. ShowMaker eventually gets the kill onto Doran there on the top side without using his flash, without using his shockwave. So that's the only piece of good news here for Dplus. But it's Herald just going to drop down here and take this mid turret out at 18 minutes. T1 swimming in gold, and all of it on their major carry here in Peyz. A second charge here will give even further plate gold over with this draft, this setup. As, oh man, this is Doran. He has his Haunting Geist, which is actually insanely high value in extended fights like this. And the Equalizer did so much work. Then this flash, he gets the slow, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, it was a flash harpoon as well. That was so sick.
As soon as he flashed and hits he just TP'd to the top lane. ShowMaker's probably not too happy about that either. As another turret goes down, and whoever engages, like, nice try, Jarvan. And he just 100 zeros him with the Yuumi on his back and takes no damage because he's got a huge shield as well.
And Oner is just chasing Lucid out of his own jungle here. You can see ShowMaker now getting closed in on his Peyz. He really wants to kill an Orianna, and he might just be able to do so as Oner with the Crescent Guard does come on down, but Keria is there. Arrow is going to hit his own teammate, but there's the knock-up onto Oner. He's put inside the little pen here. That's very cute. Great encore, but the cleanse is there for Peyz, who's just going to end Smash before he could do anything. Oh, God, it's one of these games, isn't it? As finally, the Zeri will go down, but not before picking up 3, 2 of which he grabs the kill credit for, and DK just reeling after that. It's almost a 5,000 gold lead, and I was wondering how the engages were going to work. I guess just walk at them is kind of the way here.
Well, the thing
Sand
is,
Soldier is going to disappear.
When you're basically with Q and W as well, you know, all 3 of those buttons get pressed on Peyz, and there's a flag on him. Maybe you kill this guy.
Well, looking for an arrow onto Faker. They will be able to find it. Shockwave is there for ShowMaker, and he does press that button. Cataclysm comes down, but it doesn't stop Faker from getting out. His flash does come on through. There's the flash over the wall, and there is the Jarvan picking up the kill. The rest of T1 looking to come on in here, though, as the teleport from Doran does get him up, but the teleport out from ShowMaker will allow him to escape, as now Peyz and Keria looking for the angle. Extendo beam, not quite going to find Lucid, but I think this Jarvan is still going to die.
He's got exhaust.
Turret here. Siwoo does stand beside him, but Oner's going to be able to finish that one off. And now Siwoo might be in a little bit of strife as well. Prowling projectile doesn't quite work, as now the Crescent Guard. Oner is going to be taken down, but no! Immediately dead. This Peyz guy just doing so much damage, and Siwoo really wants to find it. There's the Q to finish him off, and now Doran comes in. He's got the damage. ShowMaker now gets missed by the harpoon, though, and so now Doran could be in a little bit of trouble. Keria trying to make sure that he's as scary as Peyz, but it looks a little different here, as Doran is going to get taken out. DK finally finding an angle in this game.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment where ShowMaker was like, "Shoo, careful!"
Out. I mean, Doran is
like,
actually a real tank. And so it is more difficult for Peyz to kill him, at least, as we got another fight going on here, as at least DK are able to take a dragon. Let's see whether they can actually keep themselves alive, though, because Peyz has a kitty cat, and he's not afraid to use it. Keria now completely separated from the rest of his team, does find an encore onto Faker, but now Peyz wants to skate his way in, and just an extendo beam is going to be enough to take down this Seraphine.
So
it is T1,
you know,
yeah.
They have great turn here, right? When they do have Emperor's Divide, so there's that.
Well, Siwoo's not going to be too worried about that one. Is now looking for an angle towards Oner as they go for the turn. There's a shockwave, but it's only onto the Xin Zhao. Now Lucid in a lot of trouble. Siwoo dived forward. Is now Peyz possibly separated, or never mind, just in range to kill everyone. Oner somehow lives, and that is just 2 freebies here, as DK are just going to have to sacrifice the Baron now.
Peyz is making a statement about his gameplay.
Peyz situation is getting out of hand. He's going to take down this turret very comfortably. 4 items now completed. His mortal reminder is done. Is
it a trick question?
I just never know them.
Is it a trick question, maybe?
Well, Arrow is going to connect onto Faker once again.
Kill the other one.
Find a little bit of an angle. Can go all out here as well as they pull Faker back. But he goes golden, and now Peyz has made his way in. Emperor's Divide hits the air as Faker is going to get taken down by the volley. And now Peyz is slowed up. Takes a lot of damage there at the same time as Lucid looking to keep himself alive. Keria almost dies, as now Peyz puts down the ulti. Doran gets in there with a flamethrower, but diving this turret is a little bit dangerous. Did Peyz take damage before us? Never mind. The arrows do come on through, and Lucid gets through the base gate, and now without Peyz, T1 should not be able to keep pushing forward. Oner and Doran there with their little kitty cat in tow, just going to have to get out. Hasn't really, he's taking that one in stride, let's just say that. As Arrow going to connect onto Faker, he's just taking all of these arrows. Shockwave comes on down as well, and just barely survives.
More shielding and healing power.
I was going to say, that one's just going to add to Keria's stats there, as T1 looking for Soul Point.
For Infernal Soul with his composition.
Yep, and there's a teleport so Faker can get all of his health bar back and make his way back down again. Finally, the IE is done, then that's the engage, you know?
Yeah, I suppose that's how it's going to work when you have this much map control as T1. As Peyz is engaged.
They look for it. There's the shockwave. They're going to try and blow him up as he pops down the ulti, and Lucid just doesn't have it. Finally, Peyz is going to go down, and Lucid will survive. Now, Siwoo not dancing on the equalizer this time, but not going to hit the Q either, as he's looking to try and take down Doran, putting that Iceborne Gauntlet to good use, and there it is. Solo Bolo in the bottom lane.
Faker.
And the Siwoo Dante's coming up big.
Yeah, Faker is playing a bit aggressively down here towards this inner. Peyz would never be able to kill you, and then you would just melt everyone. But now you're actually killable, so you got to be careful.
Oner is just going to lose his GA. and his life.
Starting to wonder if T1 are ahead in this game.
Is he going to taxi out using Keria? As the volley going to slow him down, so he is going to survive, so just loses the GA.
But the jungler is now going to have to go home. No flash for Oner, and this should be a pretty relatively easy to play out, Baron.
I mean, look at the damage from one extender beam.
Well, if he didn't get hit by that, or if the shield was there before he got hit by it, might have been a different story.
Yeah, T1 deciding, Dplus deciding that this Zeri being alive.
But with everyone else getting so large in the burst and all of the engage tools we talked about,
I mean, the problem is there's just no CC on T1's side,
they can't lock people down, so Peyz has to survive till the end of the fight.
Unless someone just overextends. Never mind, Faker is hit by an arrow once again. And will be able to escape, never you mind. Siwoo now looking for the angle though, as Peyz just dashes out of the way. Doran coming on forward, and is this the DK's engage is our engage type engage?
The Seraphine also has the diadem completed and Moonstone Renewer, and I mean, Smash is ready to fight. He's ready to almost go toe-to-toe with Peyz if they have the setup, if they have the CC.
Oh, they are still looking for it here. The equalizer is fantastic. Siwoo able to soak it, though, as he goes all out, looking for the angle. There is the golden flamethrower, as Doran will try to help take down Siwoo, and they will be able to do it, and now Peyz finds his angle. Immediate double kill as he gets revenge on the bottom lane, and ShowMaker is one dash away from dead. The little zaps onto the minions, not going to be quite enough there, though, so at least the Orianna can pirouette her way out of there, but I think they're going to be pirouetting their way out of this game as T1, they find the angle, and they will take down Dplus here in game one.
Get a little bit impatient there, and the equalizer from Doran gives them enough space, and that is the end of it.
Yep. T1 with a composition that I was a little bit curious.